Can't get enough of modded Skyrim, my gaming friends. If you're like me, you always find some time in the year to spend 2 weeks to mod the hell out of Skyrim, only to play it for like 3 days. Usually due to the constant crashes and frame rate drops with 7-hour loading time seeing you uninstalling. But at the end of the day, we all know the real game is the modding process itself rather than, playing them. That's where mod packs come in. Funnily enough, I have undoubtedly thousands of hours in Skyrim across like 4 platforms over the years since its release, and I have never dabbled in mod packs. I have always modded out Skyrim myself, tweaking and finagling to my heart's content. Mostly with success, often with them crash to desktops like a boss. Fast forward to a few weeks ago when I was updating a mod for my Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough, and Nexus graced my site with the Immersive and Adult mod collection by Turkish modder Canliberk, featured on the front page. Needless to say, I thought, why not? And decided to take a gander as this is a fairly popular mod collection and Canliberk had just recently updated it. Now keep in mind it wasn't just Canliberk that worked on this mod collection, actually it's probably 10 plus mod authors that worked on it altogether, but I'm just going to refer to him as the author given he's the one that uploaded it and worked on it I think the most, so keep that in mind, full disclosure. Upon further inspection, turns out this mod pack is nearly equivalent to what I always use when modding Skyrim, albeit missing like 300 plus mods, but for the most part I would use most of those in this collection. So I went ahead and gave it a try, and holy shit, I am now sold on mod packs. Not that I had anything against them myself, I'm just the kind of guy that likes to do things myself, especially when it comes to modding my video games. But man, this mod pack is just absolutely stellar, and I thought I would do a video to share it with you guys as I highly recommend it. Now keep in mind that this is a mod pack for adults. Being nearly 40 myself, I am in fact an adult, which means I like adult things. Games are no exception. So if that sort of things offends you, then you probably should skip the end of this video where I discuss some of the adult elements, as you might see images like this. Or this one here. Yeah, probably best that you don't look at this one either. But good news, there is a clean and innocent version of this mod collection as well for those who don't wish to take part in the finer aspects of modding Skyrim. So in this video I will be referring to the adult version as that is what I installed because meh. For those not familiar with modding in video games, it basically just means you make modifications, aka mods, to games in order to enhance the game's features in some way, shape, or form. These can be minuscule tweaks like texture enhancers, audio or HUD cleanup, bug fixes, all the way to insane DLC-sized mods that will introduce entire cities or territories, such as the Beyond Skyrim mods. You also have mods that will implement new characters and quest lines if you wish. The sky's the limit, and it's all done for free by people who are simply passionate about video games. My kind of people, and I thank them with all my heart. So if you're new to modding and simply would like an easy, quick way to drastically enhance your game of choice, mod packs or collections is probably the best way for you to get into the modding scene. They allow for swift and easy installation, as the author of the mod pack undoubtedly did all the heavy lifting in making the collection as easy to install as possible. In this instance of the Immersive and Adult mod collection, Canliberk streamlined it into perfection, as this is probably the most fluid and seamless modding implementation I have ever experienced. It is installed easily through Nexus Mods' Vortex mod manager, and I have had zero problems. No bugs, no crashes, no issues whatsoever outside of some trivial problems with the mods themselves, which is not the fault of the collection, but rather each individual mod. In fact, the only issue I have with this mod pack and the Skyrim modding scene in general is the fact that there isn't a mod that allows me to torture and kill Barbas. Stupid mutt always gets in my way, never shuts up, and blocks paths and doorways like it's intentional. Gah! Words cannot express how much I hate this fucking dog. So other than that, allow me to give you, fellow gamer, a little rundown of some of the awesome things you can find in the Immersive and Adult mod collection. Naturally, we aren't going to cover every mod in the collection as there are a total of 557 here. But I would like to just call out some of the ones that I really liked and think you guys may enjoy as well, as they're really unique and fun. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe to your fellow patient gamer if you find this video fun and useful. It really helps out the channel. Okay, for starters, the mod collection has the alternate start and realm of Lorkhan option, which grants you access to an alternate beginning to any character you wish in this new abstract location that's really cool. It's like another dimension. You get multiple character and class options as well as a variety of starting points in the actual world of Skyrim. It's pretty awesome and a mod that I've used many times before, as it allows you to skip the long and often tedious opening of vanilla Skyrim. Another unique mod in the pack that I found to be great was Alternative Conversation Camera. Oddly enough, I've never seen this one before. It gives you a cool cinematic viewpoint when conversing with NPCs. Only downside is that it really must be used in first person for the best experience, otherwise the perspective will often block the NPCs with your character's head or other assets in the game or something. Stuff like that. Still really cool though. Acquisitive Soul Gems Multithreaded is a great addition here as well. This one makes it so your Soul Gems won't capture any lesser souls than the Soul Gem can handle. So you won't get them pesky petty souls in your Grand Soul Gems, know what I mean? Really handy and a must-have for any enchanters out there. Break down. One really awesome mod here that I've never heard of is the Shadow of Skyrim Nemesis and Alternative Death System mod. This one is a banger. With this mod, whenever you die in combat, the NPC that killed you becomes your nemesis. Sort of like the orcs in the Shadow of Mordor series. These can be humans, beasts, vampires, giants, or whatever. Any living thing that kills you. They will take some of your stuff, often donning your armor if they're a humanoid NPC, and granting you a debuff. You are then given a quest to go back and defeat your nemesis so you can get your stuff back and remove the debuff, replacing it with an actual buff. It's really cool. And it also makes deaths more unique in that you will wake up in different areas rather than just reload your save. If you have a companion with you, they might pull you out of the fight to a safe location for story purposes, things like that. It's awesome, I love it, and I highly recommend it. Much more fun than the just die and reload a previous save kind of thing, because it can often put you in areas you haven't discovered yet, so it gives you more incentive to explore. Wintersun, Faiths of Skyrim, takes the religions of Skyrim and ramps them up. You can follow specific deities, follow their tenets, and find yourself in their favor, granting you some fairly powerful and unique buffs. You can do this with the 9 Divines, as well as the Daedric Princes. It even adds a few other unique ones from Tamriel lore that aren't really in vanilla, which is really cool. Definitely a mod worth having. Now, there are a variety of combat enhancements in the Immersive and Adult mod pack as well. One such mod is that of Enemy Revolution of Skyrim. This one distributes spell perks that are generally only available to the player to enemy NPCs as well. This is a game changer as it makes fights drastically more challenging. This is not your daddy's Skyrim. This is Skyrim Combat turned up to 11, maybe even 12. NPCs are very challenging now, particularly in the realm of spellcasters. I found myself succumbing to many forever sleeps due to some chain lightning bouncing off my harem members all the way down a staircase and around a corner to hit me. Bandit leaders are now armor-clad juggernauts that turn your brain matter into chili bowls with a single swing of their warhammers. It's tough, it's challenging, it's hardcore, and it's a blast. Granted, you can adjust the difficulty settings and tweak things as you wish, but I recommend the default settings on your first playthrough as it's tons of fun. Another combat enhancer mod is that of Precision Accurate Melee Collisions. This one enhances melee with physics-based weapon swinging and hit reactions, adds things like proper camera shake and recoil depending on what you're hitting. That makes combat much more fluid and natural feeling, especially given Skyrim's vanilla's fairly atrocious combat mechanics, to be honest. This one is a great addition to the mod collection. We also have Valhalla Combat, another fantastic addition that really enhances stamina use in combat. Light attacks that miss will drain stamina, but light attacks that hit will actually replenish stamina, so you don't have those moments where you're just wandering around like an idiot waiting for your stamina to regen so you can keep on fighting. And given the new beefiness of the NPCs now, fights can last a long time, so this mod is a godsend in that regard. When you exhaust your stamina, you deal half damage, but if an NPC exhausts their stamina, they can't attack, which is awesome. Blocking is completely overhauled here as well, with it reducing stamina regen. But you also got time blocks now that negate all physical and enchanting damage, as well as deal stun damage to the attacker. What's stun damage, you ask? Well, everyone has a stun threshold now, which has its own value bar. Deplete the stun values, and you can execute the enemy. You also have perfect blocks that are timed blocks made within 0.15 seconds of the attack. Perfect blocks instantly staggers the enemy and restores all your stamina. Lastly, you can also block projectiles, and I just want to point out that you don't need shields for these blocks. This is all with melee weapons as well. There's much more to Valhalla Combat, but these are some of the highlights that just blew me away and I had to share them with you guys. Another great addition to the mod collection. Bleh. Oh, speaking of spell perks, no modded Skyrim playthrough would be complete without Ordinator, Perks of Skyrim. And we have it here in the Immersive and Adult mod collection, yay! This is a must-have for any modding enthusiast or noob alike, as Ordinator completely overhauls the skill system and implements a variety of very unique and entertaining perks. You can make dwarven autocannons and smithing, take a bardic route with speech, or turn your undead minions into living bombs with conjuration. This is one of the most comprehensive and well thought out mods for Skyrim, and it completely changes your playthrough for the better. Truly a masterpiece, Ordinator is. And to add on to overhauls we have in this mod collection, we also got Summermyst, Enchantments of Skyrim. This overhauls the enchantment system by adding over 100 new enchantments as well as enhancing the old ones. This is very lore friendly, so you won't find any overpowered enchantments really. They're very pragmatic and unique and just plain fun. Things like gain 5 gold per hour or lift up an enemy while you're attacking them so they're just floating in the air. Highly recommend this as it's freaking awesome even if you don't want to get the mod collection, which you should. Now, some of my favorite Skyrim mods are those that changes territories and cities and things like that. In the Immersive and Adult mod collections, we got JK's Skyrim as well as HS's Overhauls. JK being the legendary JK Romul, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and HS being the also legendary Helio Sykes. These two bosses turn Skyrim's most iconic locations into an absolute feast for the eyes. I use their mods on every playthrough I do, and Canliberk made them so streamlined here that they are effortlessly integrated into the game with no issues. I say this because I would often have problems with modding them myself due to improper load orders or missed patches and whatnot. None of those problems with this mod pack, so happy to see them here, and I mean, just look at it. Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! Absolutely gorgeous. You also have some environmental enhancement mods that do things like Origins of Forests that overhaul Skyrim's foliage by replacing the grass textures with this thick, dense forest floor that is beautiful. R.A.S S, rain, ash, and snow shadows, wet, frost, cold, dust, there's a mouthful, is a great mod that places weather effects on characters. For instance, if it's snowing, you'll see snowflakes and frost particles on your armor, or if it's raining, you'll have wetness shader on your armor, just cool little things like that. And on top of all these amazing aesthetic enhancements, we also have entirely new zones and locations added. Wyrmstooth is one such mod that adds an entirely new DLC-sized island with all these dungeons, fully voiced NPCs, new music and equipment, and even a new shout. You also get a giant castle as your home base there that you can purchase. It's insane and awesome, and I never really fully explored it, but I'm looking forward to in my current playthrough if I get the time. We also have the Clockwork quest mod, which finds you trapped in Clockwork Castle, where you must find out how to escape. I haven't tried this one yet, as this is the first time hearing of it, but it looks like it's an escape room puzzle type of deal, and for those familiar with my channel, you'll know that I hate puzzles, especially when they're put in my RPGs. But I still want to play this, likely with a wiki open on my other monitors so I can still experience it without all the frustration my small, non-puzzle solving pea-brain has to offer. It does look awesome though, not gonna lie. Next up, we have the Forgotten City, a DLC-sized mod that finds you in a mysterious cavernous city that has a dark secret that you must uncover. Don't want to get into details here because this is a very spoiler-heavy mod that is best left experienced on your own. The awesome thing about this mod is that it eventually got turned into a full standalone game that you can find on Steam by the same name. I played it and will eventually do a video on it because it is amazing. That overwhelmingly positive review score is there for a reason, and knowing it started out as just a mod in Skyrim really puts a smile on the face and some warmth in the heart of this patient gamer. But again, no spoilers here, as this is a game and mod that must be played blind. Highly recommend the mod and standalone version as well if you don't want to get the mod pack, but the standalone version on Steam is fantastic and a bit more polished and just better than the mod, to be honest. Up next, we have the infamous, the iconic, nay, the legendary Legacy of the Dragonborn. Whee! This is probably one of the most extensive and largest mods in the Skyrim modding community. This could probably be a standalone game given its sheer size. There is so much to do in this mod that is baffling in the utmost pleasurable of ways. You have multiple quest lines, a plethora of new items, a giant player base used to collect and store items as well as craft all this stuff. You got this new skill system called Archaeology, there's a new guild called the Explorers Guild that you establish yourself and recruit members and set up expeditions. I could go on for days gushing about this mod, and it's another one of those that's just a must-have for any modded playthrough, and we have it here in the Immersive and Adult mod collection, so check that one out for sure, truly amazing. If Legacy of the Dragonborn were a woman, I'd fucking marry it. LC Build Your Noble House in Felberg is another great addition. This basically finds you creating your own little town with everything you need. You also get a big castle as your home base. Felberg is awesome, very detailed. Only issue is that inside your manor you have to run a lot to get to places and use multiple doors. For instance, if you want to access your enchantment and alchemy stations, you have to go through a couple doors and several stairways to get to it, so it's a bit convoluted in that regard, but it's still awesome, and that's where I tend to leave my extra harem members when I'm out and about with the others. I just plop them in the tower and, go around doing my business with my other girls. And the town also has a bunch of things that you can upgrade, like blacksmiths, guard outposts, a trader, and all this stuff. So everything you'll pretty much ever need will be in your own little town. The only downside to that aspect is it doesn't feel as lively as the other towns in Skyrim, like Whiterun or Solitude. There's just not as many people walking around and doing their thing. There are some of the NPCs, but they're mostly just the vendors for each station. So I wish they had a bit more people just walking around willy-nilly so it feels more like a town. In the same vein, Leveler's Tower is another great mod here. This is an extensive and complex home base you can use to do a variety of things. It has a garden, a mine and workshop, all these mechanics to level your skills, and much, much more. This is a very complex base that William C., the mod's author, put a lot of hard work into, and I highly recommend checking it out if you don't want to get the mod collection. Now, I'm not going to mention any in particular here, but the Immersive and Adult mod collection also has a variety of animation mods that enhance a lot of things like combat, spellcasting, simple walking and running, dodging and rolling. Lots of stuff there that not only enhances immersion, but makes things much smoother and more pragmatic in the day-to-day. Quickloot is another fantastic mod that I discovered with this mod pack. I would say this is another must-have for any Skyrim modder. It revamps the loot system so you can just loot on the go rather than having to open up the menu when clicking on a chest or a dead body. It's amazing and makes things so much smoother in your dungeon crawling. Only issue is that it can get a bit finicky when you have a lot of items and containers in a confined area, as the menu will often bounce around between the items, making it difficult to pick up what you want to actually pick up. But as you get used to it, you find ways around it, and you can tweak the settings to allow for a more tailored experience in that regard. Overall, this is just a stellar mod and worth everyone's time. Such a simple concept and expertly executed. Right down, yeah. Up next, you also have the Nether's follower framework, which is another must-have for any modded Skyrim run. It allows for more followers to be with you at a given time, so if you're like me, you can build your harem of warrior women to trounce around the lands defeating baddies like a screeching banshee nest of sexiness. It also provides mount support so you can buy your companions horses to ride. You can set combat rules for them, such as making them a healer or tank. They can become more immersive by doing things with idle. They have stealth enhancements. You can create outfits for them. They can teleport to you when you get out of range, and much, much more. Also, keep in mind you can tweak these settings to your liking. This is a great mod that really enhances the gameplay with your followers, and again, a must-have for sure. Okay, let's move on to the adult aspect here. So hopefully I can cover this without going too far in respect to YouTube's guidelines. So if you are not interested in adult themes and material, or you're simply too young to take part, you might want to skip ahead. This mod pack does in fact have a variety of adult mods for your pleasure, all of which I'm fairly familiar with, for research purposes, of course. For starters, you have another one of my favorite mods, Amorous Adventures. There's a non-adult version of Amorous Adventures for those not wanting the pornographic elements, but for me, I go balls to the wall, ovaries to the ceiling, full adult mayhem on my modding endeavors. But Amorous Adventures is a truly awesome mod. It has some of the best quest lines in any mod and even in the vanilla game. Not that that's hard to do, but this is basically a romance mod where you can woo vanilla NPCs, but with some fairly in-depth quest lines. This isn't just go around and making everyone your girl or boyfriend with 1 or 2 lines. I mean, what do they think this is, the companion's questline? Nope, you have to actually work to get into your lady's or fella's heart. This entails doing a questline that is generally intertwined with vanilla questlines, so it's super lore friendly and very immersive and intuitive. In the OStim version, which is what we have in the Immersive and Adult collection, you will be granted various opportunities to bed your companion along the questline. So Amorous Adventures isn't just smut, it's very well written and integrated flawlessly into Skyrim's vanilla world. I absolutely love the quest lines and the stories and always have it on my playthroughs. Now, what is OStim, you may be asking? Or is it OStim? OStim? I don't know. Either way, OStim is an interactive animation player that focuses on sexual animations. On its Nexus mod page, it also has all the animation packs and mod integrations you can use with it. It's very extensive, very detailed, and very sexy. You can manipulate and change the scenes through a fairly intuitive menu, and it works great with other romance mods that are patched for it, such as Amorous Adventures. Toasty! This one isn't for everybody. I mean, there's far better porn out there on the internet if you want it, let's be honest, but it's very fun and immersive, and again, I'm an adult and I like adult things, this being one of them. I enjoy the fantasy of wooing NPCs and getting some eye candy as a reward, so some of you might as well. Outside of Amorous Adventures and OStim, the Immersive and Adult mod collection also have a variety of beauty enhancers for the NPCs, new textures and models, and even a variety of new companions, such as Laci here. I was somewhat turned off by Laci at the start as she seemed a bit cringe, but after having her in my harem for a bit and listening to her banter, she grew on me. She's this obsessive and possessive being, intentionally so, that is supremely loyal to you, and it's hilarious. Once you get to know her and you start to unravel what and who she is, it's a lot of fun and very funny, and now I can't get enough of her. She's fully voiced with unique dialogue, and she's a hoot. And that's just one example of a unique companion you can get in the Immersive and Adult mod collection, as there are quite a few, including Canliberk, the mod collection's author. Now, as mentioned before, on top of all that, we have many beauty and body overhauls, and too many to go over here individually, but lots of new nude models here, so yeah, break down. A lot of these I'm personally not a fan of, to be honest, as they tend to give the women exaggerated physiques such as gigantic boobs. I'm an ass man myself, but I'm also not a fan of big ginormous breasts. I prefer petite women, much like my wife, so some of the models here are a bit extreme for my taste. That said, I'm sure there are many out there that enjoy that type of physique, and there's also a variety here. Not all the women have huge breasts and voluptuous hips. Some do, but others have more petite frames and some just normal frames. What I'm trying to say is that there's something here for everyone, including the straight ladies or gay fellas, as there are also many male model overhauls here that make them look more beautiful and sexy. This mod pack pretty much overhauls all the NPCs in the game, really, so you might not even recognize some of the vanilla characters, and that's a good thing because they all just look better and more pleasing to the eye. They even revamped the old ladies, woo! So on top of the body overhauls, the erotic questlines and animations, there's a plethora of adult features in the Immersive and Adult mod collection that should satisfy just about everyone's pervy needs. Alright, let's end it here on a high note. Immersive and Adult mod collection by Canliberk, everyone. A succulent mod pack years in the making that is clean, simple to install with Vortex, streamlined, cohesive, and just about bug-free in my experience. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I had no issues with the mod pack itself, just some issues with some of the individual mods that weren't game-breaking or anything, such as Felberg causing a massive frame drop at one point that a quick reload fix, or the issue with Quickloot bouncing around between lootable containers. Nothing serious though. But other than that, Canliberk did an awesome job here with all his work compiling and making sure the Immersive and Adult mod collection runs smoothly. And all the mod authors did an awesome job putting in hours upon hours of their free time into their mods just so us fans can enjoy it. So I implore you, fellow Skyrim modding patient gamer, to give this mod pack a try. And remember, you can do the non-adult collection as well if you're not of age or if adult content isn't your cup of tea. Either way, I can confidently say to everyone, modding veterans to noobs alike, that Canliberk's Immersive and Adult mod collection is a phenomenal feat of modding that completely changes the world of Skyrim. Thanks for watching. Be sure to endorse the modders out there if you do dabble in any of their stuff. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you find my content entertaining and useful as well. It really helps us out. This has been Jarek Defiler, basking in the awesomeness that is Skyrim mods. You all have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on where you are. And go mod some Skyrim, yeah.